Welcome back, guys. I am going to show you 5 warm-up exercises that will keep you on your toes. These are exercises that I've personally used and helped me warm up effectively and in a good amount of time, whether that be in the woodshed or on the bandstand. So let's get to it. On all instruments, a warm-up is very important, and it's a critical time, as a warm-up done correctly can save you a lot of time before you get to your main practice routine, as it's a time for you to iron out any creases before you get into the main depths of your practice. However, I find that there is a lot of disconnect between warm-ups and then practice. Okay, I don't personally consider them as 2 separate things, and I don't think you should either. Your warm-up should be developed so it hits the main components of what you are trying to achieve as a guitarist. So for example, let's say you were trying to learn some Brad Paisley licks. Your warm-up should be focused around slow hybrid picking lines and arpeggios. Or let's say you were trying to learn Joe Pass style stuff. Your warm-up should be little chords changing seamlessly from one another. Okay, you get the picture. So it's always personal to whatever you are trying to achieve on your guitar. I personally think everything you should play should be mindful of your goal, and all the things you practice should be specifically focusing on achieving your goals. However, that being said, there are some general concepts I apply in a warm-up, and one of those concepts is play slowly. Okay, I want to play slowly because I want to give myself time to think when I first get on the instrument. I don't want to be playing before I can think about what I'm playing. So I'm trying to play slowly so I can get this mind-muscle connection, let's say. And then my second point of focus is getting the right hand and the left hand synchronized so it sounds like there's only one hand playing. Okay, it's very common when we first sit on the guitar to play something in our right hand that our left hand just isn't keeping up with, or vice versa. So when I'm warming up, I'm really trying to connect these 2 things. I'm going to give you some exercises that have personally worked for me, but it's really important that you find your own ways to warm up. So our first exercise is going to be a major scale, but with a twist. It's a major scale played with octave displacement. Essentially what is happening is we are moving up a major scale in the bass notes, while the high notes in the higher octave are moving around in thirds. Now, why is this so good for warming up? Well, the string skipping aspect of it makes your picking hand work really hard. Okay, and when you do this slowly, it soon wakes up that picking hand. Also, a really nice area this exercise hits is making sure you are using the right bit of your fingertip. If you are not accurate with your fingertip placement in your fretting hand, this exercise is pretty much impossible. So, it's really important we practice this very slowly. And when you get comfortable with it, you can speed it up. Okay, exercise number 2 is going to be A little bit of economy picking. Economy picking is where your pick glides through the strings in one picking motion. So you're essentially playing multiple strings with one stroke. I like economy picking to warm up my picking hand especially. I find it takes a lot of coordination in my picking hand. And when an exercise takes a lot of coordination, I find it warms me up quicker. This is just harmonising the major scale up to the 5th degree using major and minor triads on the G, B and E strings. It also involves a little pull off with the little finger. You're bringing in a little bit of legato in this exercise, so you're really working on that fretting hand coordination as well. So this exercise hits a lot of areas in your playing. The trick is to be really gentle with your picking hand when you're doing this. Really try and connect to the feeling of your picking hand. Make sure it's gliding beautifully up and down the strings, up and down the strings. When you connect to this coordination, you'll find you are warming up quicker. Exercise number 3 is a very simple broken chord exercise using C add 9 in our open position and E minus 7 in our open position. In our fretting hand, this is actually very simple. There's not a lot going on in our fretting hand. So this is an exercise that's really working on our right hand. Our right hand is constantly going and constantly swapping between strings. So it's really working on our stamina, and it's also working on our rhythmic stamina. I want this to be really even and really tight. Also, I am being mindful of our dynamics. I don't really want a lot of dynamics in this exercise because sometimes that can show a lack of control if it's not done intentionally. So, just to make things simple, I try and keep it a really flat sound throughout all the strings, and I really try and make all the strings the same volume. This is really working on control. And because this exercise is so simple, it really frees up my mind to think purely about my picking hand and my fretting hand working together. That's what I think is one of the most important elements of a warm-up. Okay, exercise number 4 is another major scale. Instead of a standard major scale, I am playing a C major scale, but an open string scale. Not only does this sound beautiful, but it takes a lot of control to make sure all those open strings are ringing out beautifully when you get to the end. You have to make sure your fretting hand is hitting the note in the right position, else you'll mute the strings that are meant to be ringing out. When you repeat this, it creates control in your fretting hand, which I personally really benefit from. And in my picking hand, I'm actually using hybrid picking to pick the open string, which is just another element of my picking hand that I am warming up. So I'm hitting a lot of areas in my warm-up. Exercise number 5 is a linear alternate picking lick. We've all heard the classic spider exercises. Although they are great and I have used them, they're very even, and guitar playing isn't usually so symmetrical and even. So I have adapted that so it works on common fretting combinations for blues, rock, country licks and other styles of music. And what it is, instead of playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is not usually how we play stuff, I play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 on the first 3 strings, and then I go back a string and repeat the exercise. This ties in with the typical fretting we find within blues licks. You're getting licks with a combination of 2 notes and 3 notes per string, okay? And it's a random combination. So when we work on this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, I think we are working on these common fingering combinations. Okay guys, so there we have it. 5 warm-ups that I think are very effective. I usually practice these warm-ups 5 minutes each, so I'm creating a 25-minute little warm-up routine. I understand that a lot of you won't have that much time though, and maybe only have 5 minutes to warm up. So pick 2 of these exercises and practice them for 2.5 minutes each. But the main point is do what works for you. Like I said at the start of this video, you'll soon learn what works for you, and you'll soon know when you are warmed up. You'll soon be able to feel when you're warmed up. Anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.